Hello and welcome to the next Lukozer retro game review video. And for this one it is Outrun, which was released by Sega in 1986. Now, a few videos back when I did Space Harrier, I said I wasn't going to do any more Sega Y-Board games. So here we are with a Sega Y-Board game. Now, the reason I've done this is because there's another review that's coming up, and well, I guess it's going to be pretty obvious which one it is, but I didn't want to do that one on its own, so I decided to do this one first. Now, this was, as far as I'm aware, the third Sega game, the third Sega Y-Board game that is, released after Hang On and Space Harrier. And indeed the difference between Hang On and this is, well, firstly, all the motorcycles have been replaced with cars, and secondly, there are splits in the road, and thirdly, that's it. So for them to I assume put a fair bit of effort into this game, only for it to be nigh on identical to Hang On, yeah, it didn't bode well for me. I wasn't a fan of Hang On, and so when I saw this, I was distinctly unimpressed, to say the least. I did play it a few times, but not very many. Now, in terms of the actual arcade cabinet, it was actually a damn sight better than Hang On, at least, because those of you who were around back in the day will remember that the sit-down, like deluxe cabinet version of Hang On involved you actually leaning the motorcycle yourself, which would be fine, except the thing weighed a bloody ton, and it had the net result of making the game nigh on unplayable. This one, you turn the steering wheel as normal, and there were hydraulics in the cabinet which turned the thing left or right, or either it sort of tilted left or right. It didn't really move all that much, certainly nowhere near as much as the Space Harrier cabinet did anyway. So right, let's get the game underway. I'm only going to bung in one credit at a time because well, there's no continues, so you can select the music. I will have Passing Breeze. So off we go.
Get ready.
Now you'll see at the bottom right corner there, the low and high. That's only the overlay in MAME. That is not there in the actual arcade original, because of course you had the lever on the cabinet for low and high gears. So well, here we are. And essentially you're seeing the entire game here. This is it. Just driving along as fast as you can, trying not to fuck it up, which I did just then. This is where you need to slow down a bit. The road also narrows a bit here. Now we have the first fork in the road. The one and only unique feature of this game. So make it to stage 2. Now, because of the speeds that the game runs at, the whole business of once again using fuck it. Using 2D bitmaps to render a 3D environment, it kind of works, but in areas like this where there are an awful lot of them that are close together, yeah, here it doesn't really work. Fuck's sake. Make a real fuck up of this. So I never was much good at the coin-op version of this because I just didn't play it very often. I never did see the appeal of it for a number of reasons, which I'll go into well, once this goes over and I'll start in the next one, which is any second now. That's about as far as I usually got on the when I was playing this back in the day. So there we go. Oh, lucky me, I get to put my name in. Right, so what there? Oh, fuck it. It doesn't save it anyway, so. Right, well, there we go. So let's bung in another credit and choose a different bit of music. Let's choose Splash Waves this time.
Get ready.
And while we're going through this, let's get on with the review. So graphically, as I don't bother actually moving at the start there, graphically it's okay, but as I say, it's the 2D bitmaps to generate a 3D image. To me, it doesn't work that well. I mean, okay, when this game came out, it was still fairly new, and graphically this was quite something. But yeah, when there's an awful lot of graphics on the side of the road, it doesn't really work all that well. I don't think so anyway. In terms of sound, I think the music in this game is fantastic. The sound effects of the cars when you pass them are quite good. I'm on the wrong side, I want to go this way this time. So yeah, the sound effects when passing the car is fine, but the engine sound of your Ferrari is dire. It doesn't sound anything like a fucking Ferrari, and the tyre squeal when you're going around corners fast is awful. So the sound is very hit and miss. The music is excellent, everything else is at best mediocre, and at worst fucking dire. And then there's the gameplay. It's way too simple for its own good. And it's marketed as a racing game. Okay, but who are you racing? There's no sign of like your position in said race, and all of the other cars that you pass are just randomly generated. They're not actual racers, so the only thing you are actually racing is the clock. So it's not so much a racing game, it's more a well, it's showing you racing nobody. You could say it's an arcade game of driving through traffic at extremely high speeds. Fucking scraped that one. So yeah, it's really a driving simulator. It's not a racing simulator because you are not racing anybody. Unless you consider the clock, you know, to be a sentient being, in which case, yes, you're racing time. Fucking calm. Guess I should have changed down gear for a bit there, but no. Fuck it, well, I don't usually get to stage 3 on this, so you know, I'm surprised I've lasted this long. The other issue I have with the gameplay is that I make no secret of the fact that I hate arcade games with time limits, and in this game the entire game is you racing against a fucking time limit. So yeah, not a fan. So to summarise, graphics are not bad. Sound, well, music is fantastic. The rest of the sound is anything but fantastic. And the gameplay, it's you supposedly in a race, but you're not actually racing anybody, you're just passing random cars. The only thing you are racing is the clock. So it's not even a race, it's an arcade game of you driving through traffic trying to get from point A to point B before your time runs out. That's not racing to me. So yeah, I'm not a fan. I never have been. I've never understood why this game had such huge appeal. Yeah, it just doesn't have any with me. I will score it 4 out of 10, which I seem to recall was the score I gave the Amiga conversion, and that 4, most of that comes from the fact that I think the music is fantastic. So, you know, go and get the soundtrack, which you can buy on CD rather than this game, and you'll enjoy all of the best things about it. So there you go, that is Outrun, the arcade coin-op, 4 out of 10. Pretty forgettable, and I'm fucked if I know why this game had such a huge following. So that brings this review to an end, and we will see you at the next one.